Happy Friday, guys. I hope you're all doing well and welcome back to the channel. Appreciate you watching. As always, is a muscle hut day, posterior day, which I'm looking forward to getting stuck into. This is one of the sessions that I have a rest day either side of, well, lower body, which is practically 3 times a week at this point. So girls got to rest at some point. At the moment, I'm still training 4 days a week. I can't foresee myself training any more than 4 days a week ever. I've kept trying to do 5 in the past just because I like being in the gym, but yeah, it's just not going to happen. So plan of action today is to vlog a little bit for you. I'm going to set up a couple of new starters that I have on the team, which is very exciting to have those girls. It will be 3 starting this week, so always really good to have new girls on the team, and also returning clients as well, which I know I've spoken about before, that I absolutely love to see women that I've worked with previously come back and join me again, because I know that they've had a really good experience with me in the past. And with that being said, if you are interested in coaching, guys, or you want to find out a little bit more about it and how I work, I will leave a link in the description box below. If you want to find out a little bit more, I will send you out a little bit more information. So updates for this week. It's actually been a really good week of training. I have definitely had some better sleeps this week, like that's for sure. Oh my God, guys, also, just look at this. The curtains don't have those little like curtain holders at the sides of the, what's it called? The French doors. So that one, I've literally had to, there's no way to like sweep it back. So I've literally just had to trap it into the wardrobe. It's so sketchy. But anyways, I'm actually going to be moving out of this apartment in, I think, 6 days. Today's the 20th. So I'm moving out in 6 days, going back to the previous apartment block that I was in actually. And this will be the last move that I make until I'm in more so my permanent residence, which I can't wait to share with you guys. Honestly, I'm so excited because I have been feeling like so homeless over the past while, not gonna lie. But look, is what it is, and definitely will be worth this time sort of bouncing around. Like obviously the initial plan was like I didn't really know if I'd be going back to the UK for a stretch of time after Christmas, but ended up not doing that just because I love out here so much. Wasn't particularly keen to go back to the cold, and I just felt like I was sort of setting up my life here. So yeah, I just didn't really want to do that. So it just ended up with me having to then book Airbnbs each month to time myself over until March, end of March, fingers crossed, if there are no delays, for my more permanent residence to be ready. So yeah, anyways, I will have to fill you in on all of that closer to the time. Leave it a little bit of a surprise for now. But the whole concept of moving is just absolutely awful. Like literally there is nothing worse. Like I'm still staying out of suitcases, and yeah, it's just not the one. It means I'm holding back from buying like anything, which I do anyway. I'm not a big spender anyway, but I'm holding back from buying anything because I just don't want more stuff to have to move and take with me, because it's already a faff as it is, and it's just not, the disruption to your routine on a day-to-day is just so not it, because I know that next week will be, yeah, it will be quite a busy week, but I am glad to be sleeping a little bit better this week. It really has made a difference. I've caught up on a good bit of my sleep debt actually. It was like 11 hours and it is now, I think it's like it's 3.5 hours. That's pretty good. Like I've knocked a lot off of that, so I'm buzzing with myself. And I have been doubling up on my melatonin actually, and I've been staggering it. So I do take quite a lot of melatonin, so please do be aware that I am aware. I take 20 milligrams of melatonin a night, and I stagger that 10 before my last meal of the day, which typically I like to keep away from bedtime. So that will be around 6 o'clock. I usually eat my last meal about 6:30, and then I will have my second sort of dose of melatonin. It would be the next 10 milligrams. I'll have that around 8 o'clock or so. So obviously if I'm planning to get into bed for sort of 9, that generally works out quite well, because for me, it's not an issue me getting to sleep at all. Like I could be out like a light, but it's staying asleep, because the issue that I was having was that I was getting up at like maybe 2-3 o'clock in the morning. And then obviously once you start to get to that point, you start to feel anxious about getting up, and I think that just makes it worse. So I definitely feel like that little bit of a bump up in melatonin has helped. I've used 20 milligrams before. I had pulled it back to 10 for a little while, but now I've gone back up to 20. It also does have other benefits outside of sleep as well. It's quite a powerful antioxidant, and it's skeletal muscle protective as well. So it's not just for the sleep. That's the way I'm justifying it to myself anyways. And please don't think that you need to go and take 20 milligrams of melatonin. If you're going to use melatonin, you can start with like literally just 3 milligrams. Like that might be all you need, because everyone's got a different tolerance to it as well. So just be aware of this. But it is a good supplement to have. It is week 7 now, coming into week 6 or 7 of this maintenance block. And I've just had my cycle arrive yesterday. Now, one thing that I thought I'd mention was quite significant about that is that the reason why we've done this maintenance block, not only just to give me like a bit more flexibility, physical, mental break, all of that from being in a deficit, but it's also because when I diet, every single time my cycles get further apart. So typically, if I'm in a maintenance block or in a surplus, I'll have now anyway, since all my like thyroid issues and hormonal problems have sort of been solved, which I will need to get more blood work done at some point, just so I can take a little look at everything and where we're at, just to make sure everything is still good. But I will typically have a fairly regular cycle of somewhere between sort of 28 to like 31 days. Whereas when I diet, those get further and further apart. So typically I'll end up with a cycle every 40 to 45 days. And then obviously the longer I diet for, the further apart they get. So they start to space out by a couple of days more and more the leaner I get. So this maintenance block was not just for that physical and mental break. Well, I suppose you could say it's physical, but it's more so just to kind of regain that more regular, normal cycle length as well for me. Because essentially I know that every time, like that's just the way my body is. Like everyone's going to be very, very different. It's not to say that I'm going to avoid dieting or getting lean in the future because my cycle is disrupted. I think you sort of just have to accept that everyone's going to be different. You've just got to sort of take that on the chin as a female a little bit, because sometimes cycle length does get a little bit disrupted, but that's not going to stop me from wanting to achieve those goals that I have set for myself. But it is nice to kind of see that come back a little bit more regular, because I've now got it after 29 days, which is pretty spot on. So yeah, just thought I'd bring that up as well for any of you ladies listening that might get a little bit of insight from that. It's important to obviously have a regular monthly cycle. It's a big cornerstone of and a sign of our female health. So all good things there. Now I'm going to crack on, because I need to get these onboarding videos done for the new girls, and I'll also show you a couple of the supplements I actually take to help support hormonal function as well, and things that I recommend to the girls. This is the little view from my balcony at the moment. The thing is with it being in JVC is that there's construction and noise everywhere, which you can probably hear in the background, which is not ideal. Now, this is not my favorite Airbnb. It looks right out onto these apartments. So not a fan of that, which is obviously why I wanted to move apartment again, because this is probably one of the worst Airbnbs I've been in so far. The inside is not bad, but it's just, I'm a sucker for a view and daylight. And obviously because this is, you know, overlooking, it's quite shadowed, which I'm not a fan of. So usually I go and work up by the pool. But yeah, at least I get this little sliver here. You literally see what you mean, don't you, by how dark this apartment is. It's only a little studio, so it's only small and very humble. However, it feels like, even though it's 8:20 in the morning and the sun is shining, it's constantly like 8:30 in the evening in this apartment. So I actually have my little ring light on here to like light me up, and a light here as well. So yeah, not a fan, which is why I spend so much time actually outside of the apartment. But anyways, just thought I would share something with you, because I actually picked up the Daily Stoic, which I know is like probably, you might look at that and be like, that's so cringe. But it is all like meditations and wisdom and little paragraphs of, just paragraphs of wisdom and advice, really, from generally Greek mythology. And I really, really rate it. You know, when some things you read are just kind of they're just profound and they sort of stick with you. It's like when you see a really good meme on Instagram or a really good reel and you save it. This is sort of similar to that, but in more of a book context, maybe slightly elevated. But every day on the date, there is just a separate little paragraph or a specific little paragraph to read. And some of them you're like, they just make you think. And I really, really like that sort of thing. I've read, this is the first one of these I've actually read, because I know that he's got a few books, but I will definitely go through them. But call me cringe, guys, but genuinely, I really, really recommend those sorts of things. I feel like just understanding just different ideologies or different perspectives on things is really important. It just gives you a lot more, sometimes it can just give you a lot more clarity, and it carries over so much to so many aspects in your life that you might come across, like certain challenges or certain just situations. So yeah, I really do recommend it, actually. I know you probably be rolling your eyes being like, Jem, why are you recommending these like meditations on wisdom? But don't knock it till you try it. Yes, guys, happy Saturday. Hope we are all doing well. Yes, I am in my posing bikini. I literally have just taken my check-in shots there because I'm in a little bit of a hurry this morning. So I'm just going to make my meal one now. I just wanted to get everything up together. I still have a bit of work to do because I'm going to meet one of my clients for a little walk on Kite Beach, actually Orla, who you might remember from one of my previous vlogs. We trained together probably like 3 weeks ago at Muscle Hut. So we're going to go for a little cute walk down the beach and breakfast. So I'm looking forward to that, but I'm just going to make up my yogurt meal now. So I've actually swapped around my meals a little bit. So I'm doing my yogurt meal first, or it'll be my cream of rice meal on a training day, because I love my sourdough, I love my eggs, I love my avocado, but it does just take that little bit longer for me to make in the morning. And I quite like to have that to look forward to once my bigger block of work is done, where I feel like I can sort of relax and eat it rather than obviously just hurrying to make it when I'm like between work blocks, if that makes sense. So I haven't even changed out my bikini yet, but I'm literally just gonna slam this now. I just need some blueberries. So we have yogurt whey, blueberries, and some dark chocolate. I probably will pull my food down a little bit today, actually, because with going for breakfast, I just like to be a little bit more conservative. Now, don't get me wrong, breakfast probably won't be a whole lot, let's be honest. Like, breakfast is definitely one of the smaller meals, I would say, if you are going out for a meal. But I do just want to make sure that I'm leaving a good buffer of calories for myself. So there we have it. You probably can't even see it because the light is probably terrible. There, that's a little bit better, isn't it? So this is meal one. 250 grams of, actually no, this is 225 grams of Greek yogurt, 0%, and 10 grams of the chocolate peanut butter, used an ISO surge, 100 grams of blueberries, and I had 10 grams of dark chocolate, 90% on the side. We'll probably just reduce the chocolate down a little bit today. Usually it'd be 20 grams. So that is going to be meal one. I'm actually quite happy with my check-in this morning, to be honest. Like, my body weight is up and I got my cycle and I'm just there like, don't know how these are going to go. But actually I almost feel worse. Well, no, I do always feel worse in the lead up to my cycle arriving that last week in terms of how I look and how I feel than I think that when it actually arrives. Luckily enough, I don't feel terrible when my cycle comes or when I get my period. Like, I think it's just because my diet is so good, my lifestyle is so good, that generally it's good in terms of support, like basically being able to support my hormones and my health in general, that I feel I can keep inflammation quite low, and I don't really get period pain or anything like that. I'm very, very fortunate. I do obviously have clients that do have issues with this, and again, I will actually go through, because I know I spoke a little bit about my cycles getting a little bit shorter now that I'm in a maintenance phase. I will go through my supplements with you, but right now I do not have time to do that, so I need to slam this, but I am quite happy with my check-in pictures. I actually look pretty full, but I always find that I look better the day after I train legs anyway. So yesterday was my posterior day at Muscle Hut. So when I take my check-in shots, my check-in video, the following day after hitting legs, I always prefer how I look. Versus if I'm coming off the back of a rest day and I take my check-in pictures, I don't tend to like how I look as much. It's just a marginal difference, but it's still enough. It's significant enough for me to notice. But yeah, anyway, I will catch you in a little bit, because I need to get some work done, and your girl's in a bit of a hurry. Here we are, Kite Beach on a beautiful sunny day, and there's a cloud in the sky. Absolutely glorious. Okay, so we've literally just gone for like 8,000 steps worth of walking, and just trying to work up the appetite. So we've actually just stopped off at a cafe. I'm not even sure what it's called.
Laola, I think.
we'll say that it's Laola. Lovely, thank you very much.
Yeah, that's the thing. It like locks onto something.
It locks onto everything, but then it's up there,
Yeah.
and I can't get it back down again. Oh no, there we go.
Got it?
Yeah, we've got it. So I have got the brown sourdough with additional smoked salmon, hummus on the side, avocado, poached eggs, and some pomegranate seeds on the top. And then Orla, you've got, what have you got?
The eggs Benedict with turkey ham.
Oh, that actually does look really good.
It's so good.
And there's like a little apple juice. Like,
And then this is, apple and mint lemonade.
Oh,
So good.
we've obviously got the oat milk iced coffee. Stunning. Can't wait for this. Yes, guys, okay, so it's Sunday evening. It's been a busy day. I went to train legs this morning at Brunch, and then I came back. I had a bunch of work to do, and I had 2 clients to get plans sent out to, and then a consult call. And I'm literally, oh God, phone is buzzing. And then I have Emma coming over now, because we're going to go and get some steps in, which will be lovely to see her, because I feel like because she works like a 9 to 5, like a normal person, I don't really get to see her all that often except for at weekends. So I'm just going to go and get her into the car park now, but I'm just trying to multitask, getting the last meal made up, so that I can slam this, and that'll be me all done for today, outside just recording the last bit of this YouTube video, which will be my supplements, which I have lined up over here. However, I just realised that I ran out of one, which is not very prepared of me, but we move, make it work. We don't put it off just because we don't have one thing, because it doesn't have to be perfect, you just have to start. Is she here? I'm not sure. Where is she? Ah. Here we are. Wait, shall I put this in?
Oh my God,
Just proving that I have a life. So God, it's like the red light district outside of work. How are we doing?
vlogging a day.
Well, trying to prove that I have a life outside of training and actual work, to be honest. Questionable. Happy Monday, the start of a new week, and definitely a very, very busy end to last week. I'm still yet to go through the supplements that I've been using to support my hormonal function, and I don't like to necessarily over supplement, but I do feel like there are a couple things that do help, and I try and not put too much focus on supplementation, because I feel like it is just that. It's to supplement your diet at the end of the day. I think that the most important thing is that your diet supports your health, and including your hormonal health as well, whether you're a man or whether you're a woman. But there are a couple things that I feel like have been just doing a little bit more of the business, let's say, being a bit more specific with the hormonal side of things, allowing me to better support my own hormonal function, especially given that it does get a little bit disrupted for me when I do diet, and my body's actually quite sensitive to that. Run you through the main three essentially that I'm using. So the first one, which I will put a picture up of because I don't have it, it's on order but I don't have it in the cupboard yet, which is the Decaro and myo-inositol mix, and this is in to really help support my FSH and LH function, and also not to mention as well that it does help with things like insulin sensitivity. So if you are someone who has like PCOS, which I think a lot of women commonly do have these days, it can be a really good supplement for you. Thing is Chasperi, which I've been using for quite some time. I've actually been using this for a while, I think since I've been on my sort of thyroid journey, I suppose, if you want to put it that way. But Chasperi is really, really good for progesterone, especially given that a lot of women can find that their estrogen and progesterone balance is a little bit off, because we tend to be in quite an estrogen dominant world at the moment. Even just the likes of, you know, eating out like plastics, for the most part everything's wrapped in plastics, which actually does and can affect the estrogen in your body. So Chasperi helps with progesterone and actually increasing that and better progesterone to estrogen balance, supports luteal function, and also like just helping shorten longer cycles in general. Now, is that gonna 100% stop me from having longer cycles in a diet? No, but I'm happy to do anything that's going to help give my hormones just a little bit more of a cuddle, let's put it that way. So along with this, and then obviously the Decaro and myo-inositol, that's going to help support better ovulation and just strong progesterone levels in general. And then the last one that I'm using is NAC, which is like the precursor of glutathione, which is a powerful antioxidant that our body actually produces for liver function, which if your liver's doing its job and detoxifying the way that it needs to, then that's also going to help with better hormonal function and just general estrogen metabolism. It decreases inflammation as well, so that is why I have the NAC in. But I should mention that it's not just like these three supplements. I think all my health subs play a part, as well as just generally how I live my life, like the balance that I have within my training, my diet, my nutrition in general, the amount of micronutrients I have in my diet, the balance of everything, as well as, you know, just supporting my body and my health with really good quality food. Like all of these things are going to play a much bigger part in a way than just like these three supplements alone. So hopefully that gives you a little bit of an idea, guys, into what I am currently using without going to my full supplement stack, which I actually think that I did do a little while back. So if you want to know my full supplement stack, go back a few videos, because I'm pretty sure I covered practically everything there. But hopefully that gives you a little bit more insight into the three supplements that I'm using mainly to support my hormonal function, and it might be even something that you could look into for yourself just to better support yours. So with that, I'm gonna love you and leave you. Did enjoy this video, please like, share, comment and subscribe, and I will see you in the next one.